Happy 4th of July, Cubs fans, and we are back with another edition of Cubs Daily. I hope you guys have an absolutely fantastic holiday. You're off work, you get to enjoy the beautiful sunshine, some baseball. Let's hop right into it, ladies and gentlemen. The Cubs, with an epic 1-0 walk-off yesterday, sweep the Guardians and set themselves up for a nice division rivalry series this weekend against the Cardinals. Coming into this series pretty hot. I'm excited to see if the Cubs can at least take 2 or 3, or maybe go on a nice little 6-game winning streak. We will see that first, but let's talk about the game last night. It wasn't pretty. Obviously, 0-0 going into the 10th is never a pretty exciting game, but it's about finding ways to win games when you don't have your best stuff, and that's exactly what the Chicago Cubs did last night. And that is the best part about this team, is that they truly never are, I don't want to say out of it, because obviously when you're 0-0, you're never out of it, but they consistently battled last night. I mean, it was just an epic duel between two pitching staffs that are, the Guardians pitching staff is very, very solid. Their defense is very solid. It's their offense that kind of hinges that team, and it's kind of put them where they're at, but their pitching staff did a fantastic job. And we're going to talk about our main man here, Cade Horton, who absolutely twirled a gem, ladies and gentlemen. This is probably the best start he has had in his big league career. The part I think I liked about this the most is that it came off the heels of that start in Houston where he gave up 7 runs in 3 innings, right? He didn't dwell on it. I think if you were listening to the marquee broadcast, that's what Cliff Floyd was saying, and I really, really resonated with that point. I was like, you know what? I liked his ability to bounce back. He went 7 innings, only gave up no runs, 5 strikeouts. And, if you watch that 5th inning, man, it was a sweat, right? It was 1st and 3rd, nobody out. He battled Reese McGuire, gunned out Bo Naylor at second. The runner at third didn't go. I think that's what the Guardians wanted to do in that situation. They weren't trying to suicide squeeze or anything like that, but they wanted to, get the runner going to second and then have him come home. Didn't happen. Next pitch, Cade Horton, grounder to second, out of the inning. So just the ability to battle in those situations. Cade Horton did a fantastic job yesterday. It may not be the most perfect game he's ever pitched, but I think it's his best big league start so far to date. And if that is something that we can hopefully develop into the sense of consistency going forward, that is big for this Chicago Cubs team. I don't know if it's going to be this year. It's going to be super consistent, obviously. When you're a rookie, you have a lot of ups and downs. You had that game in Houston, then you have a game like today. I'm curious to see what the next start's like, but hopefully it's a building block, right? We know his stuff is big league material. He just needs to be able to harness it and develop that confidence, which I think yesterday absolutely contributed to that in a massive, massive way. So very excited to see Cade Horton pitch like that, and I'm excited to watch him go out there again because his stuff is good. He's just a rook, right? Rookies, very rarely does a rookie come in and just dominate Major League Baseball from the jump. I know there's a few of them out there that have, but that doesn't mean it's going to be every single pitcher. And just because you don't dominate Major League pitching from the beginning doesn't mean you're not going to have big league success. So, Cade, absolutely fantastic job yesterday. That was a lot of fun to watch from him. He worked out of some situations, and that's what you want to see. You want to see the confidence, right? Because he will get in situations in this game, and you want to see him be able to work out of it. So, Cade, shout out to you, man. That was absolutely incredible. So the Cubs sweep the Guardians, and we're on to St. Louis. Well, we're actually here in Chicago, but we're facing the Redbirds for a 3-game set. Now, I want to talk about one of the Cubs' top prospects, okay? Jackson Wiggins. If you guys have been in the comment section, you guys have read about Jackson Wiggins a few times. I know I butchered his position the other day, but now I was like, okay, I need to take the time to familiarize myself with this young man, okay? I watched a few highlights of him yesterday, and again, you gotta like the frame, right? 6'6", lengthy. He can bring it down the plate, 97, 98 miles an hour on that fastball. He's got a devastating off-speed pitch. I really, really did like the look of his stuff. Looking at his his single A highlights. He's moved on up to double A this year, and he's been very, very not very, very solid. He's been very, very good. I mean, across these stats right here are across 2 levels of baseball as well. It's between high A and double A. So 60 innings in total. His whip is below 1, which is exciting to see. I mean, this guy does have a lot of exciting potential and good framework. 2.09 ERA. He doesn't let up a lot of long balls, which again is beautiful to see. You love watching your prospects play really, really well. But, again, when will Jackson Wiggins be a Chicago Cub? That is the question that I do pose to the comment section and to all of those who love following our minor league system so heavily. Let me know your projections. I want to hear about it. He is already 25 years old. I'm not trying to say trade away every prospect, but these are the questions of can Jackson Wiggins give this Cubs team, a pitcher or another bat that would propel them to the future? There's some things like that. I believe it was, hold on, let me double check this, but the Cubs traded for Michael Busch, and they had to give up a pitcher that, the Cubs necessarily didn't want to give up in that. Yeah, Jackson Ferris. The Cubs traded Jackson Ferris, who, for all we know, he was one of our better players in our prospect system very early on, obviously. But Jackson Wiggins has found tremendous success early on. Now, I just need to know, where is he going to play into this Cubs team in the future, right? Do you think he's going to be up next year? I'm not 100% sure. So those are the real questions that we have to think about in this situation. The kid is obviously wildly talented, but if he could fetch us the right player, I'm personally open to it. I'm not trying to get rid of everybody. Obviously, you need depth in the minor leagues to build a sustainable ball club, but when the ball club has a lot of players that are locked into nice positions, you got to think about what can he bring to the table in terms of a trade package. That's all I'm saying. So let me know in the comments when you think Jackson's going to be on this big league club. I know he's in the Futures game coming up here in July, but I want to hear your guys' and gals' thoughts on when Jackson Wiggins is going to come up and be an impact arm for this Cubs team. So let's get to some viewer comments, ladies and gentlemen. We got a lot of them this week over some of the videos. A lot of great, comments, and I love hearing everyone's thoughts. So let's just hop right into it, right? We have Tungsten. He's in there. He says, we need another hitter plus starter. Hey, man, I do not disagree. I don't think you can have enough bats, just like you can't have enough pitching, right? Both of those things are totally necessary. And again, I would love to see this specific Cubs team go over the top. I don't think they need to go all in necessarily in the sense of getting rid of every prospect to go and get a guy. But, a name like Eugenio Suarez has been thrown around casually, very casually. If he is cheap, he costs a low-level prospect, I'm in on Eugenio. Knowing he is a rental, knowing he is not probably coming back. But if we could catch him for half a season at Wrigley, I think that is a fantastic idea. And if we can go get ourselves another solid starter, that absolutely has to be done. Rainwater came out in, and he's like, hey, our offense is cool, man. Pitching, and more pitching. Rainwater also has a great point on this, right? You can never have enough pitching in October. There's going to be a lot of high leverage situation. In the regular season, they call them high leverage innings because obviously if you're down 15-0, those are not high leverage innings. In the playoffs, every pitch is high leverage. Okay, every pitch is stressful. Every pitch, if it's a ball or a strike, can dictate the way a bat's going to go. It's the same way in the regular season, but it's just much more magnified in October. So Rainwater, I 100% agree. Pitching, and more pitching. I personally, in a dream state, would love to add 1 to 2 more starters and 1 more solid bullpen arm. I'm even thinking maybe a closer. I love Daniel Palencia. I think he's the future closer of this team. But if other closers become available, like Johan Duran or, Emmanuel Clase, who we faced yesterday, we have to start thinking about that, all those options. And also we had a comment the other day about Cade Smith. Yes, I would like to see Cade Smith as a Cub as well. I know we're not going to get everybody, but hey, it's nice to think about, right? And last but not least, we have our main man, Tiller. He came in here. We were talking about the roster quality the other day on the video, and we essentially agreed, right? He said, to your point about roster quality, no team can conceivably match the Dodgers, right? 100% agree. Being worried about all-in is a waste of energy in that aspect. You are also correct on that, my friend. However, it just takes a matchup with them, and you only got to win 3 of 5 or 4 of 7. So let's add a solid arm. I would love the addition of Suarez. I just want to see the Suarez thing personally because does he just love facing the Cubs or does he love hitting at Wrigley? It could be a combination of both, but I would love for him to hit at Wrigley as a home member. So add Suarez to the lineup, and we'll be good. We'll be in a good spot. I agree, Tiller. You just got to get to October and play the games, right? Most importantly, get Tucker his extension ASAP. Yes, we have to sign Kyle Tucker. This whole thing we're doing here is all about signing Kyle Tucker. Give him his money, give him all he wants, and let's have a fun squad for the next 5 to 6 years, right? So that's going to do it for Cubs Daily today. Again, leave your comments. Let me know your thoughts. And I will be back on Monday with more fun and hopefully 3 more victories against the Cardinals.